Yo, what the Yo. Yo, I feel like in war, chat.
It's my country, bro. Look. So my people
Closest to him started leaking because they quickly realized sticking by him was not loyalty, it was just setting their own money on fire. He's definitely low on cash and he's definitely low on allies, so what could his next steps be?
Johnny Somali just landed himself in an even bigger storm, and this time, the South Korean military is directly involved. Yes, you heard that right. Reports are spreading like wildfire that Johnny didn't just disrespect random people on the street, he went after the military itself. At a defense exhibition, he allegedly climbed inside a tank without permission, filmed himself acting out, and started saying wild, inappropriate things, all while laughing on camera. And here's where it gets unbelievable. The clips didn't just leak. Johnny Somali himself uploaded those videos to his own YouTube channel. He practically handed the evidence over on a silver platter. South Korean authorities don't even need to investigate too deeply anymore because his so-called content is basically a confession caught in high definition. But it doesn't stop there. People online are now buzzing about his desperate situation. Clips are popping up of Johnny Somali wandering aimlessly through the streets, looking lost, looking rough.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo.
And honestly, like someone who hasn't had a proper meal in days, viewers are saying it's clear he's not in a good place, physically, financially, or mentally. Now ask yourself this, why else would he risk everything by uploading his own crimes for the world to see? The only explanation people are giving is simple, desperation. If Johnny Somali wasn't flat out broke, he wouldn't be putting his life, his reputation, and even his freedom on the line for views and a few scraps of cash.
He's now dragging the process out, forcing witnesses to actually testify against him, and making the judge even less sympathetic.
Johnny Somali is literally handing over the evidence against himself, almost like he's daring the law to catch him. That's how desperate he looks for money right now. The big question is, what kind of consequences could he actually face for this? How will prosecutors treat him? What will the judges say when the crimes are already online for the world to see? These are the questions haunting his future right now. According to multiple sources, Johnny Somali's life has spiraled to rock bottom. People are spotting him drifting around the streets, looking like he's got nothing left, broke, hungry, and on the verge of begging just to survive. Imagine that. The same guy who once strutted around with arrogance is now walking around like a man who's completely lost it. His physical state is so rough that some even whisper he hasn't eaten in days, and it shows. The irony is almost poetic. Once upon a time, Johnny Somali mocked others, acting untouchable and bold. But now, his downfall is playing out in real time, and people online are saying he's finally tasting the consequences he used to laugh about. Honestly, many agree it's karma at work, especially since his so-called friends, like Hank Yu, have completely cut him off and refused to step in. Even worse, Johnny Somali doesn't have a single ally left in his corner. Creators and streamers who once rolled with him are now calling him out, saying it's time he's held accountable. Even Creator A went public, straight up saying Johnny deserves the backlash. And let's not forget, in my last video, I told you Johnny Somali is acting like a man with nothing left to lose. Maybe he's scraping old clips from his hard drive just to push out content, or maybe he's forcing himself to upload crimes because he knows it's the only way he can still shock people into watching. At this point, Johnny Somali has nothing left in the tank. No money, no allies, and no way out. He knows deep down that whether he uploads these wild videos or not, prison is waiting for him. But here's the twisted part. People think he's so desperate to survive that he'd rather cash in on chaos than starve on the streets.
Has any friends at this point? He's just using Hank. And there was also a pretty big Discord leak near the beginning of the summer from someone in his friend group that released Discord messages and chat logs. Even the people closest to him started leaking because they quickly realized sticking by him was not loyalty, it was just setting their own money on fire.
To him, every shocking upload is just a last-ditch hustle for food, money, or even just attention. The library of videos is endless. Clips of him disrespecting South Korean citizens, harassing strangers in public, and crossing every line possible. But now, authorities have stumbled across something even worse, a clip that could push his situation into a whole new category of serious. Reports say South Korean officials found footage where Johnny Somali might actually face charges so heavy that he could be branded a national terrorist. Yes, that's how bad it's gotten. In this particular video, Johnny Somali barged into a military exhibition. And get this, he actually climbed inside an army tank that was on display. No permission, no respect, nothing. Just reckless antics caught on camera for the world to see. Can you even imagine the insult? This isn't just trolling. In South Korea, this is the kind of disrespect that sparks national outrage, and it gets darker. Johnny Somali was once called the provoker of North Korea, a label that carries heavy weight in South Korea. That's not just bad PR. That's a serious criminal accusation. But instead of pulling back, he doubled down. In one shocking moment, he even promised his fans that for a $100 donation, he'd create chaos at the exhibition.
That was around the time that Hank made comments about that he was cutting off Johnny, which, considering that Hank did show up to Johnny's last court appearance, I'm unsure how true that actually is. And the Discord leads show that the people he once thought was loyal to him are now exposing him. So the YouTube videos basically confirm that he's definitely low on cash, and he's definitely low on allies, so what could his next steps be?
His so-called friends warned him, told him to stop, but he laughed it off and said he didn't care. Think about that. Openly selling out his own country's peace just to pocket a quick buck. Johnny Somali wasn't confused or careless. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he chose chaos anyway. This is exactly why I've been saying Johnny Somali needs to be held accountable. The man has already proven he's reckless enough to pull stunts like this, so why should anyone believe he'll stop now? If South Korean authorities dig deeper into these clips, there's no way he can talk his way out of it. His situation isn't just bad anymore, it's turning catastrophic. Reports are already hinting that these newly surfaced videos could blow the case wide open and make his downfall even steeper. If investigators and military officials confirm that Johnny Somali broke the rules at restricted sites, we're not talking about a slap on the wrist. We're talking about a legal nightmare that could lock him up for years.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo. Yo. What is this? Damn, this is what it feel like in war, chat?
It's my country, bro. Look. So my people, I'm half Ethiopian, half Somali. My people fought for this country. So I deserve to be here, right? Look, my people fought for this country.
You have to understand, in South Korea, the military isn't just another institution. It's sacred, it's respected, and it's protected by some of the toughest laws in the country. Mocking soldiers or insulting the army isn't brushed off as just trolling. It's a criminal act that can slam you with massive fines or prison time. And it doesn't stop there. If you step onto a military base without permission, that can earn you up to 3 years behind bars or a huge fine. Caught filming or snapping photos in restricted zones, that could be treated as espionage. Yes, espionage, with sentences stretching to 5 years. And if anyone disrupts a parade, an official ceremony, or leaks sensitive military details, the punishment skyrockets to as much as a decade in prison. So let that sink in. Johnny Somali isn't just playing with clout anymore. He's playing with laws that treat his content like treason. One wrong move confirmed by prosecutors, and he won't just lose his channel. He could lose his freedom for a very long time.
Bro, this is like, bro, you understand, there's police here, right? This is a war memorial, so this is protected territory of I guess, the government, right? So you do anything in here.
Oh shit, look at this. They got really tanks and shit, guys. Whoa. Jumping in the water.
Hold the stick. You're gonna set it
I don't care.
bro. You're
Guys, $100 donation, I'll go in the water right now. Someone said 100, I'm jumping in there right now and going swimming.
South Korea doesn't play when it comes to national defense. Breaking military rules or mocking the armed forces can literally flip your entire life upside down. For Johnny Somali, that means the clock is ticking, and the consequences could hit harder than he ever imagined. If he finally realizes how deep in trouble he really is, he might be plotting his next move. And yes, that could mean trying to slip out of South Korea before the hammer drops. But here's the wild part. There's chatter that Johnny Somali himself has spoken about escaping through international waters, even tossing around the insane idea of running toward North Korea. Can you believe that? But before he dreams of pulling off some movie-style getaway, creator Ozzy already exposed why that plan would never work. The reality is brutal. If he tried to flee, he wouldn't just fail, he'd land in even deeper trouble than before. That means Johnny Somali is boxed in from every angle, broke, alone, and now possibly trapped in South Korea, with the military eyeing his every move. His chance at escape isn't just slim, it's completely shattered. One wrong step, and instead of dodging the law, he could end up facing an even harsher sentence that seals his fate for good. So now I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Is Johnny Somali really finished? Stuck looking like a homeless man on the streets with no way out? And if the military officially charges him, what do you think his future looks like then? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think.